Thank you for tuning in to the High IQ Genius podcast, and I am your host, Robert Kayan. Now, before we dive in, I want to take a moment and share with you my credentials. I am a life member of Mensa. That means I've tested in the top 2% of the populace in terms of my IQ. In addition, I am also a member of the High IQ Society, Intertel. Now, they're different. Membership in Intertel requires you to test in the top 1% of the populace, which qualifies me to be in the top 1% of the most intelligent people on earth. Now, let's dive right in. We all hear the word no. In fact, it's probably a word that in our lifetime we'll hear over 1 million times. How we respond to that word can dictate what success or failures we experience in life. Let's begin by looking at the word no. Now, my philosophy is how you look at something determines the outcome. When I look at the word no, I flip it around and I see the word on. Because I know through my experience, starting when I was just a small child, that we are all going to hear the word no many times in our life. And most often, that word dictates to many, if not most of us, the outcome of our problem. I'm here to share with you today how to deal with the word no and how you can turn it around and get the word on and get a better, much more productive result in your problem or your situation. Now, let me also say this. I've always advocated that my father, in raising me, the best thing that he ever did for me was nothing. In fact, I remember one day going up to my father and asking for money for lunch. Back then, the high school lunch was 35 cents. And he looked at me and said, "I don't have any money to give you." Now, of course, at the time, I didn't believe him. And he looked at me and he said, "You don't see any starving people on the way to school by the side of the road, do you?" And I said, "No." He said, "So you'll figure it out." And that's one of the best lessons I learned in life, was being told no. When I went to school, of course, I did some investigating and I found out there was in fact a free lunch program. And you can bet I signed up for that. Now, going forward in life, we've all been out socially and we've seen families together where children are running about and the mother and the father either don't exercise their parental responsibilities and say no to their children, or worse, when they say no, they get ignored. Now, there's a lesson to be learned in that, because what we see is the children will say no, and they will simply continue with what they were doing. And oftentimes, the parents will yield to the children simply because of it. So one of our first strategies today, when you hear the word no, is to first ignore it. Now, I'm relating this to business. This is not related to your personal life and relationships. This is in a business situation where you are either presenting your product or service, or as a consultant, you're presenting your services. The first time we hear the word no, most often in business, it's designed to slow you down. It doesn't necessarily mean no. It generally means no, I don't have enough information at this time to make an educated, informed decision about what you're asking me. The other thing I want to interject here is called the rule of reciprocity. And that's important in life because, generally speaking, what the rule of reciprocity states is that when you do something for another human being, a normal person will want to reciprocate and do something for you. Now, let's get back to that word no. The second time you hear the word no, I want you to say, I understand your hesitation, and I'd like to give you more information to help you make the decision that you will feel comfortable with. And then proceed. And then the third time you hear the word no, you must acknowledge it. For example, if you're presenting your product or service for purchase and they say no a third time, then what I want you to do is isolate their objection by simply saying, other than money, what is preventing you from moving forward with our product or service and our company? And pause. The next person that speaks will be at a disadvantage. Then your prospect or your potential customer, if they state the reason that they are not comfortable moving forward with your product or service, then you must say, other than money and this particular objection you have, is there anything other than that that would prevent you from saying yes and moving forward with our product or service today? And pause. And then when you hear the objection, at that time, you must simply overcome it. Now, let me share something with you about the word no. You are 100% in control of when you give up in life. And everything that I've achieved in my life, or earned, I should say, I got after somebody told me no. Again, this is related to business only, not relationships. You know, it's important that we understand what the word no means. And we're all going to hear it, probably every day. But how you respond to that is going to determine your future, your success, and the outcome of what you're presenting. Now, I do want to interject a couple of quick thoughts. The High IQ Genius podcast was featured in the Mensa Bulletin this past month. We've had a number of subscribers join us, but I do want to be clear. This podcast is not just for people with high IQs. In fact, those people are ones that will be our guests in the future. This podcast is for the 99% of all the other people out there in the world that want to make a positive change in their life and subscribe to the channel so that they can get the strategies and the tools to live a more successful, happy life. You know, I've always said that having a high IQ, intelligence is the way you process the information. Being smart is how you use it. And I encourage you to be smart about how you live your life. Remember, the first step of a 10,000-mile journey begins with that first step. And in fact, most people don't plan to fail in their life. They simply fail to plan. So, thank you for tuning in. If you like what you saw today, please take a moment and click the like button and subscribe. If you just enjoy the videos and you don't subscribe, that's also okay. It does help our channel grow, and we are trying to reach more people. And that one moment of clicking subscribe will also notify you for future updates and this podcast. So in closing, I want to say thank you. We all have a lot of choices in social media of what to look at, and we're bombarded by news and information. And it's important that we understand that what we watch and what we take in goes in here 100%. So by informing you and educating you and bringing you these podcasts, I want to contribute to just one person's success. Please take a moment, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would like to let you know I do read all the comments, and I will take one comment each week, and I will respond to it on the next broadcast of this podcast. And remember this, being happy is a choice. Being awesome takes action. And this podcast is designed to make you happy and take action on making all your dreams come true. And at the end of the day, it's you against the world, and I'm betting on you.